Hello everyone, today we're trying to solve day 1 of Advent of Code 2019 using the Open Assistant chat assistant, which is open source chat assistant, and we want to test it and see how it performs. At the moment we will try to do that using Go. I simply will create for each day separate folder. Now we have day 1. Previously I attempted solving that and having day 1 part 1 like a separate folder, but this time I will try to do it with having it in the same folder and with 2 subfolders. For the file structure will look something like that, in which we will have, one second, that should actually be a folder, part 1, and in part 1 we'll have main Go, and we'll have our prompts MD. Simply to give you a brief breakdown for the file structure, main is simply our Go file. Prompt will be everything that we prompt 1, and here open assistant, and here will be our prompt stuff, which you can see here. Could you revert this string? I already was trying to see if it's capable to write some code, etc. However, I haven't tried yet for the actual solution, and the input will be my input for the challenge, and the test input will be the example input from the description of the problem. Here, if we go, for example, we have this for example, and we have get your puzzle input, and I will have both of them in my repository. Okay, let's start with the challenge. Simply for background, if you haven't used Advent of Code or haven't tried to solve it yourself, there it's each day have its own challenge, which has part 1 and part 2. You can see part 2 only if you have solved part 1, and the input, it's depending of the user with which you are logging, to be different for different people. And you can see here it's simply it is always as a text. Let me save it here. It's simply list of numbers, and if we go back, usually there is a sample input here. And actually the question. And let's go with ourselves and see how we'll go. Okay, the question is the tyranny of the rocket equation. Santos has become stranded at the edge of the solar system. Okay, we are in a spaceship and we are on the edge of the solar system while delivering presents to other planets. Okay, that's very interesting. To accurately calculate his position in space, safely align his warp drive and return to Earth in time to save Christmas, he needs to bring him measurement from 50 stars. Okay, our sun, it's in a rocket and it's going to different stars, and we need to go to 50 stars. Collect stars by solving puzzles. 2 puzzles will be made available each day in the advent calendar, and the second puzzle is unlocked when you complete the first. Each puzzle grants 1 star. Okay, that's the very typical and good work. Now we are starting actually from here on. It's starting our real task. The elves quickly load your into a spacecraft and prepare to launch. Okay, we're still not in space. At the first go, no-go pull, every elf is go until the fuel counter upper. They haven't determined the amount of fuel required yet. Fuel required to launch a given module is based on its mass. Specifically, to find the fuel required for a module, take its mass divided by 3, round and subtract 2. Okay, which means that if I have these 2, I have a mass of 12 units, whatever units that is, kilograms, grams, etc. We are dividing it by 3, round about to get 4, because that's 12 divided by 3 is 4, then subtract 2 and we are getting 2. And now based on that we can formulate our test. We will know that for that the answer is 12, and for this one the answer will be 654. And let's take in this big one and let's put it here. The fuel counter upper needs to know the total fuel requirement. To find it, individually calculate the fuel needed for the mass of each module, your puzzle input, then add them together, which means we'll need to add these numbers together. And simply to make it easy, let's delete this one and have 14, because then we'll know that we need this one plus 2 is 658, and that's our test input. Now let's go to the prompt. What I was doing so far, I was giving a context, and my context was you're a competitive you're a competitive programmer and you are invited to participate competition, and you are invited to participate in a competition, in a coding competition. You should write your solutions in Golang. Did you understand? And usually what we were doing is I have instructions and task, and the task I provided like simply copy from here and having it in this triple quotes. That was how I formulated the task. And instruction is write the Golang program that is input from file day one test text and solves the task below. Something like that. I'm giving a context that I would expect from the algorithm that is competitive programmer, and it's invited to participate in a coding competition. And usually I was using that as input, and let's see how it does for Open Assistant. We're submitting that, and now we're getting to getting some program. Let's go and see what we're missing. One thing that we're definitely missing is our package main, which is fine. We can write that stuff together. We have we need function, which is our main function that will wrap up that. We are the initial value of mass input. Okay, reading from the file, we have day one test, but as we can see, we're missing this some but when it's ceiling, does it mean ceiling is returning floating point? And here we actually want to have that. Okay, let's see what's the mistake. If I try to run the program, it's taking multiple values for the given line and scanf. I think scanx it doesn't work like that. Let me downgrade it, and here we don't have a refresh option, but let me say that firstly let me copy the output and have it here like assistant, and let's put what we get from there, and all the outputs are simply unformatted in this triple Open Assistant second attempt. Let me go and see. I needed to write the program a bit by I added the package main and put everything in the main function. However, the code is not working. Bugged. Here is my current code. And let me do it like that and go on. This is the error that I'm getting. Okay, let's see if Open Assistant will be able to help us with such a input. As you can see, here it's nicely styled. Okay, we can see that now it's actually adjusting that and it's reading line by line. And it's returning the solution more or less better formatted. Probably, as you can see, the main reason for that was matte ceiling. Probably if we have matte, how was the model? The model was matte and the function was ceiling. And here we simply want that to be int, and it's initialized with 0. And we're getting -3. Why is this -3? Let me see how we pass the file. Here print line, and we have the string parsed. We have this and that, and at the end we have the end of the file, which is common type of mistake. I mean, to be honest, here when I'm saving the file, I simply save it with this empty space. Can I save it, close and save? Okay, and here close and save. Okay, now I can because I have my text editor to automatically add these empty lines. I mean, one common solution is simply to check that and to skip it, not to have a moment in which we have ft print line we have that correctly, we have that correctly, we have this part correctly. Buffer scan, and here we simply want to have that like a number or digit without and why when we're reading here the mass, okay, the mass is float, we have our float divided, and at the end we have everything cast to an integer. Which is fine, but is why would it not work? I see. Sorry about that. Why would I get with print line? Why my sum will go to -3? I have a sum -1, -2. What's wrong with this calculation here? It looks suspiciously wrong. How we have only ones? Oh, we don't need to use this n, because I think this n is telling how many been written. fscan return int or error. Can I do error panic error if there is some kind of error? Okay. Isn't it that already correct? And in first case we get 2, after that we get 5. Why we're getting 3 after that? Because here on 14 we're dividing by 3. We round down again. Okay, now that's kind of working program, but let's a little bit play with Open Assistant and actually grab the replies from Open Assistant and try to actually give some feedback. Okay, we are not absolutely satisfied with that because it's not really working as the initial one. Let's go with the next prompt. There are a couple of mistakes in the code. Let's try with this reflection way. Do you think the provided code match all of the task requirements? Missing wrong parts. I will not say that should use for instead of ceiling and so on, but let's see requirements. Okay, let me copy that and be authentic, because I asked this one, assistant from or prompter probably. Okay, I will skip that for the prompter. Awesome, that's always. Okay. What is telling me that this solution doesn't fill most of the technical specification online. Incalculate the mass usage model, blah blah. Unfortunately, it seems like whoever wrote this initial question did not consider edge cases which check if something has ended when they want to use for a float, specifically where a digit might go directly before an end of the string character or some such similar. For future difference, one could possibly replace the character with more generic regular expression, so on. Since division truncate after division regardless how many science fights you ask for due math, ultimately this issue makes hard to determine exactly why people have failed this particular setup. Okay, it's here, it's trying to refer to something that it doesn't exist. Will you try to generate alternative solution? Okay, I think it's fine. Here there were some things for scan and so on, but again far away from the and what I ask, let's take a look at the alternative solution. It's using this file this. Hey, that's adding so much more checks. Let me grab this solution and try to see if no, not rated yet. Let me firstly style it here better for people that are reviewing that on GitHub, and let me go here and see how much off is, because I can see it's missing the flag, this stuff for the argument it's not correct. In principle here, parse float and so on, Thundercuff looks wrong. Yeah. Video. Here in this kind of situation, usually what I will do is, because of I will simply have a new start and will completely re-ask the initial question, this one, and let's start this time with simply having the prompts a little bit more splitted. Prompt 1, and remove this context thing and so on, because that was typical for ChatGPT and seems helpful, but I'm not confident how helpful would it be for okay, I will try with a new prompt. Okay, it's reading once, and I mean that's kind of okay, that's correct. Let me assistant, that's the reply, and please write a program that solves the problem in here. Let me add this instruction. Write a Go program, and having that as actual input, because we're wanting the Go program that reads the input from and solves the problem. I'm not sure how much context it has. Let's see. I apologize, but without knowledge what okay, it doesn't understand. Okay, I can see it needs the whole prompt, which I learned in my previous attempt. Let's provide the prompt without the instruction. Okay, now we're seeing its processor Y. Now it's parting as a atom. It's having the range, float, turn this. It has some problems with the formatting. Oh no, it simply wasn't complete. Yeah, it actually has extremely nice formatting and so on. Sorry about that. I didn't realize that the formatting wasn't complete. Okay, that looks very promising. And let me do it like that. Absolutely great. Let me go here. Let's see, that's significantly better, and we can simply add that in a main function. Hop. And Let's see firstly how it's reading the lines. Okay. It simply doesn't find anything. It's fine. It has this infinite loop, but it's trying to read total. We don't have any of that. We have I think it's digit. Let's see. Now why is this formatted like that? Print line. Okay, and let's see. What can it be? Oh, it's I mean, we never. Where is the total? We never again calling this function. Okay, and we can see that here the only problem is not using math for and with math it's able to do it. Let me try with the input. As we can see, it's going further away and it's quite capable, although the solution is really quite messy. But let's see if we do the input. Okay, the total number of fuel, it's saying that that's the correct one, and that solves the problem. Thank you for your attention, and let's see if we can continue working with this model and try to improve it. I probably, as a last prompt before to close the video, because at the end of the day we were trying to explore how good is the model. If I say that was which prompt? 3, 4. Please rewrite the solution to F main program and use math for because the last was part of the requirements. Okay. For me it's interesting if we'll be able to figure it out where exactly might need to yeah, this with the power and so on, it doesn't look whatsoever right. Give this pause line and so on. Okay, we'll keep it, and let's move to part 2 in the next video and see how we'll be doing. Let me see how much of this is. Oh, it's Go program. Okay, perfect. Thank you very much, and see you in the next video. Bye.